mean, and whipping up those stairs, having just had foot surgery.
Yeah.
Whipping up those. I just gave away your
the
secret.
Bunion surgery. Yeah. Oh, God, it's terrible getting old.
So we are going to start off. I have a couple of questions to start things off with, but if any of you have questions, you can come up to this microphone right here, get in line, and we'll get through as many of them as we possibly can, I promise you. I want to start at sort of the beginning, because I think you're a born performer. But the way that you ended up on the Carol Burnett Show is a wild story to me. It's quite unique. It's not something that people can replicate. Will you tell us how that happened?
Well, I was 17 years old, my senior year in high school, and I entered a little contest called Miss Fireball in my hometown of Inglewood, California. And it was the fireman's ball, and they wanted some girls to entertain them, so they said, we'll call it a contest, and we'll get a bunch of bimbos to come out. There were 8 of us, and the local newspaper gal did a big article, and she said that I looked like a young Carol Burnett. So my mom said, I think you should write her a fan letter, because I was a big fan letter writer when I was a kid, but it was all the cute guys that were on TV. You guys can probably help me jog my memory. Johnny Crawford, Paul Peterson, Fabian, let's see, who else? All the young cute guys. The Beach Boys, which we lived really near. I actually saw them on the street one time. I nearly lost it. Anyway, so I wrote Carol a little letter. I told her I looked like her. I told her I would love to meet her someday. I didn't really ask for anything. I mailed it off to, I think I mailed it to Carol Burnett Hollywood or something stupid like that. And it actually managed to land on her desk before that contest. So she took my dad's name out of the newspaper. She looked us up in the phone book, which you can no longer do. And she called me after school. She said, I want to come see the contest. She said, I'm very pregnant. Don't tell anyone. Get me 2 seats way in the back. I'm going to sneak in and sneak out, and then I'll call you in a couple of weeks and we'll discuss your career. Sweetie. And
Just the way everybody rises to the top,
really.
November
of my senior year. She watched the contest. I won the contest. There were a bunch of stupid pictures of us with the mayor and the fire chief and all that stuff. And she disappeared, and I didn't hear from her. January, she was very pregnant. In January, I came home from school, and my mom said they announced on the radio that Carol had the baby, and she's at St. John's. So I was on my way to a recording session with the Young Americans, which is a group I sang with when I was young. And I said to my rideshare, I said, I want to go by the hospital and say hi to her, because I had not heard anything.
Yeah.
And he said, you'll never get in to see Carol Burnett. And I said, well, I know her married name now, so I'm going to try. So I went into the hospital. I looked up the maternity ward. I went up to the floor. There were 2 nurses sitting behind the nurses' station doing nothing. It was very quiet. And I said, I'm here to see Mrs. Hamilton. And they said to me, you must be her sister, Chrissy.
You were like, wow.
They said, wait till you see her. Wait till you see the baby. And they took me right into her room. No. Nowadays, I would be a stalker. Anyway, she said, I haven't forgotten you. As soon as I get my tummy back, we're going to give you a call, which they did a couple months later. And I went down to CBS, met the head writer, and met her husband, who was going to be the executive producer. And they said, we would like you to audition to play her sister for this new show that we're doing.
You're like, I just snuck into the hospital as her sister. Is that not audition enough? I proved it.
If there were cell phones at the time, and I could have done a video, yeah.
Amazing.
So, and it would never happen today. None of that would happen. No. Now, seriously, if you're not Carrie Underwood out of the box,
right? Well,
somebody's going to kick you off.
You were so young at that point. Did I read correctly that you were actually also going to UCLA for a couple of years while you were doing the show?
I started on her show and at UCLA the same fall.
It's amazing. That's like a grueling schedule.
Well, my dad went to UCLA, so that was really important to him.
Yeah.
So the deal was, they said, you may go as long as you're back in the studio by 11 a.m. So I took every class you could take in the dark. I had no college life to speak of.
Yeah.
And I did have to drop out. But you know what's really funny? UCLA was where Carol went for 2 years also.
No.
We just keep finding all these things
I
that
love
are.
it.
Her boyfriend in high school was Tommy. Mine was Tommy.
You really are her. You were
It's-
destined to be her.
It's very
Her
strange.
younger look-alike.
Very strange.
I definitely am going to hop right to you, but I have one more question that I want to do before that because it builds on that. Because you have also said, because you were, an infant when you were on that show, that was like going to the Harvard of comedy, and that Carol and the other co-stars, which I can't even imagine being in that incredibly luminous cast, were teaching you all the time. What was that like? And what was like the moment where you realized, like, oh, I am both their student and their colleague?
Oh, I knew that pretty quickly because Harvey, I think it was either train me or kill me. Because he said, forget stage right and stage left. You can't even find the ladies' room. So he set about to train me. And he really was, Carol had a show to run, and she was in everything. So Harvey would take me aside and tell me who I was in the movie takeoffs and, work with me on props and accents. And Harvey was my mentor.
That's
definitely.
incredible.
And Lyle was brand new in the business as well.
Yeah.
That was his first job.
Yeah.
And he was married to Miss St. Louis, and they moved out to Hollywood. He got the job on the Burnett Show, and we became very close friends because neither one of us knew what the hell we were doing. And he would take me home at lunchtime, and Sharon would cook lunch for us, his wife.
Adorable.
Yeah.
You'd never know you didn't know what you were doing, which is the beauty
Well,
of it.
it was a while.
The instincts
a
were always
while.
there. What is your question?
Hi, Vicki.
Hi.
So I just have to say, my parents' absolute favorite skit is the infamous elephant story. So I have to ask, after watching that video countless times, everyone else is dying laughing. How the heck did you keep it together during that entire story without, you didn't crack a smile or anything? So I'm like,
No. Well, I'll tell you, Tim lived to terrorize everybody. And when he got written into the family sketches as Mickey Hart, Carol pulled us all aside and said, you know how much I love these characters. I do not want us breaking the fourth wall. I want us to have some discipline. And, of course, who's the first one that fell apart in that sketch?
she did.
And I'm like, you told us to be good. What the hell are you doing? She's in my lap, crying. Anyway, we used to do 2 shows. We did an afternoon show in front of a live audience, and then we did an evening show in front of a different live audience. And in the middle, you had a little dinner break. You'd go get your makeup touched up, get something to eat, and you would get notes because they'd have a big production meeting. And then the director would come by your dressing room and give you any notes that he had. And it could be anything like, we've changed your mark in the finale, please go out and see it. We've written a new joke here, we're changing the running order, anything. He knocked on my door that night, he said, I have only one note, the elephant story will be different, and good luck. So now by this time, this is the last season of the show. By this time, I'm married to my husband, Al, who was the makeup man. So he's sitting there in the corner, he's reading a magazine. And I turned around and I said, how does he get away with it? And Al looked at me and he said, get him. And back into the magazine he went. And I went, maybe I'll try to get him tonight. And so I knew what I was going to do. I was very focused on getting the timing right, so I was just biding my time. And of course, Carol fell apart first again. The second one was the elephants that were joined at the trunk, and the little monkey came out and danced the meringue, right? I just, It's actually my finest work, I think.
Definitely.
The Steely plan for revenge kept you
And
solid.
it's like everybody's favorite outtake from the Burnett Show, yeah.
Hi.
Hi, I actually want to follow up on that. You worked on Carol and Mama's Family with some of the most insanely funny people of your generation. Mm-hmm. And it's obvious when you watch them that they are trying to be as funny as possible. On a day-to-day basis, How tough was it to actually do the job without without having everybody rolling on the floor laughing?
Oh, we had such a good time. We really did. I mean, Carol does not believe that it should be. She calls it playing in the sandbox, and it should be as fun as you all think it is. That we get paid for playing dress up. So yeah, we had a really good time. But we would get serious. We would rehearse, and if we thought we had something funny to do, we would try it in rehearsal. And the writers would say, "That's really funny. Would you please do what the script says?" And yeah, we just had a good time. We really did. But we knuckled down. We were serious on occasion.
Once a month?
Carol's the one that wanted to do those characters Southern. The writers did not write it Southern at all. They said, "You're going to offend the entire southern half of the country. You have ruined our sketch, the first family sketch we ever did." And
well, as a Yankee from New York City, thank you.
I mean, as a Southerner, thank you.
Everybody loved it so much that they ended up having to write those sketches over and over. Yeah, many of them. Arguably, I would say Carol's favorite characters to do on her show. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, how are you?
Like Mr. Conway, my name is Tim. And I just wanted to ask, how did you develop the mama character?
Well, they were beautifully written characters. And if you watched them on the Burnett Show, those pieces were often heartbreaking, tearjerkers, but they were beautifully written. So when I got a sitcom of my own, it was the writer's job, a number of whom came with me from the Burnett Show. It was their job to figure out what Mama's family was, because it was no longer really Eunice's family. And we did 2 episodes. The original writers wrote them, and they weren't funny. I didn't think. They were way too serious. So I shut the show down and said, we have to fix this. It's not right. So I called Harvey in. And he came in and directed co-directed the first season, because he said, "You now need to learn to be a sitcom star. Mama needs to laugh. She needs to be silly." And I said, "But I'm not sure Mama's ever even smiled." And he said to me, "You know what I have taught you. Any character that you do well is a part of you," which is my husband's nightmare. It was. But he was really responsible he said, "If you can laugh, she can laugh. You can dance, she can dance. She is you. You are she. Go." And he was really responsible for turning her loose and making her fun, I would say. Yeah.
My recollection is that after you delivered the zinger line in the elephant story, you did have a big smile on your face, like, "Yep, I did that."
I was very pleased with myself.
Hi.
Hello, my name's Lisa. Being 55, I grew up in Mama's Family in the 80s, watched it every Saturday night, I think at 6 o'clock. Growing up was like my favorite show. And so as time went on, it went off the air. You didn't see things for years and years and years. Then it went back to going on certain networks. Mm-hmm. And so I wasn't able to catch all of them. So I went on eBay. This is really funny. And I wouldn't do it myself because I was scared to do it. But I had someone who had taped every single episode on DVDs of Mama's Family, and they were selling it as a set.
Oh,
okay?
wow.
But I was afraid to buy it because I thought it was illegal, so I had a friend buy it for me. Because I love the show so much. And then about 3 years ago, my kids send me this onion, and it says, "Man with complete Mama's Family video library vows never to go on eBay drunk again." And it has a picture of this man who bought all of the DVD. It's a joke. All of the Mama's Family DVDs, and so it's the big joke of my family that I bought all these DVDs.
But you have
illegally.
no regrets.
Yeah, and it says, "In a solemn pledge to himself and the world, Kevin, the new owner of a complete Mama's Family video DVD library, announced Monday that he'll never ever shop the online auction house eBay again while inebriated." But I thought it was really funny because my kids died because I was like so scared I was going to get caught for buying these
Illegal.
illegal DVDs.
Did you know you had a whole like secret bootleg merch situation going
No,
on?
I did not know.
It's amazing.
Anyhow, I still love it. I probably watch it at least 3 or 4 times a week on Pluto. It's the best. But I want to know your favorite Mama's Family episode.
Oh.
Mine is the one where you sell Iola's handicrafts after she goes to the funeral.
God.
I love that one.
Yeah, I always ask everybody what their favorite one is because we had so much fun doing those.
Yeah.
There's so many that, yeah. Sometimes I don't even remember them.
Okay.
I was in New York doing a little commercial a few years ago, and they put me up at this beautiful hotel, and I get this beautiful breakfast in the morning with all the, silverware and the crystal and everything. And Al called me. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm having my oatmeal, and I'm watching Mama's Family, and damn it, we were funny."
You
We're
were
just
the best.
silly funny, right?
Yeah. Truly
Which
the
you don't
best.
see anymore, I
No,
think. You could just
no.
laugh for no good reason.
I love it.
Which I think is why she's still so popular. Especially, I think during the pandemic, I got more fan mail than I've ever gotten.
Yeah.
Because I think people were looking for comfort,
Yes,
you know?
100%.
That's what it is. It's a comfort show for me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
Hi.
Hello. Who would go off script more, Tim or Carol?
Off script? Oh, Tim. He never was on script. I didn't even know until a few years ago that he was dyslexic. So it was hard for him to read the scripts. So he wrote a lot of his own stuff. He wrote that dental sketch. He wrote Mrs. Wiggins
Amazing.
and Mr. Tudball, and he was responsible for a lot of that craziness.
So it was all his fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi. I grew up watching Carol Burnett with my family, and so it's just like this warm blanket being here with you. I want to know, when everyone else was cracking up, Tim broke everybody, but he never broke you. How?
Well, honestly, I was so young, and I honestly didn't feel that I had earned the right to play with the grown-ups in the sandbox quite yet. So I was kind of a serious student. I just didn't think it was my privilege until Mama came along. And then I felt like maybe I had earned my way a little bit, and yeah, could cause a little trouble.
Trouble is always good to cause.
Yeah. And you know what's really interesting? None of us ever did Saturday Night Live because what's his face that runs the show for 900 years?
Lauren Michaels.
Lauren Michaels did not think we were being professional. He didn't like all the laughing.
The heck
And
is
so he
professional.
didn't have any of us on because he didn't feel that we were really being
loss.
true to the scripts. And now they all crack up,
Yeah.
right? They never keep a straight
And
face.
those are
but-
the audience favorite moments.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first, love from my mother, who is a big fan but can't be here. Second, understanding that there's more to the world than the elephant sketch. Was there any consequence or aftermath after that?
Well, it didn't go on the air that way. But no, I don't
Just all
think
in
so. It just became everybody's favorite outtake. Yeah.
First of all, I just want to say hi and I love you. I don't know if you can keep recording this for me. I can't talk and not use my hands. Thank you for just so many years of amazing, funny, and humorous, and you touched our lives. I remember watching with my parents, and we all would laugh.
Aw.
And we'd go to Grandma's house, and we'd have all these generations all laughing. And so, literally, thank you for just years of funny.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Do you have just a favorite moment that you had, or just one that Tim Conway did that you just were like, I can't do this and not crack up, because we all were just watching, just waiting for him to crack you guys, because it was so
Yeah.
funny just to see him. I just loved Tim Conway, the old man. Yeah.
Yes.
And you guys just were so fun to kind of play around him and just kind of keep straight. I don't know how you guys did that.
When he was first on the show, I think he worked mostly with Carol. But the first time that he and Harvey ever worked together, everybody went, "Oh my God, this is magic." And Tim used to say that he had custody of Harvey.
He had custody of all of us, you know.
And there was, I mean, anytime we were standing around in the rehearsal hall waiting for anybody, if Tim would show up in the elevator and the doors would open and he'd have some stupid little face on, Harvey would go down for the count. One of my favorite Tim Conway stories, because he was like that in real life. He was a gymnast in college, actually. His dream job, he thought, was to be a jockey, a thoroughbred race, yeah, a jockey. But he was a little bit too heavy or too, I don't know what was, he didn't make it into that world. But one of my favorite stories, he was very agile. So one of my favorite stories was we flew down to Australia to open the Sydney Opera House. We were the first show in there ever, and it was
Amazing.
just so fun. But if you've ever done that, you know that it's a long trip. Back in the day, I don't know what they do now, but back in the day, they would give you sleep masks, you know, so you could drool in private, I guess. I don't know. And you just try to, it's a long trip. So when we finally landed there, we hit the runway, and they threw on the brakes, and here comes Tim down, rolling down the aisle. He's crashing into this side, crashing into that side. He's going, yikes! Whoa! You know, we're all just sitting there laughing at him. He slams against the pilot's door. The flight attendants are sitting there going, oh my God! He slams against the pilot's door. He stands up as the plane kind of slows down. He turns around. He's got a sleep mask on like a bra. And as we come to a halt, he looks at all of us and says, wow, rough landing, and walks back to his seat. He was crazy.
Oh, I love
crazy funny.
I just miss that era and that humor, and it just was so funny. Like, it was so, I don't know, heartfelt but funny.
Yeah, it really was the good old days.
And
don't
I
you think?
miss those days. Like,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
thank you for being a part of all of our lives. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. He'd be blackballed from flying after that if he did
I
that.
know, he'd be arrested. He'd be in jail.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Ben. My question for the show is, do you remember that one skit where the old man falls down the stairs very slowly in slow motion? Because my mom remembers that.
Yes.
A lot.
He could fall up the stairs in slow motion.
Skill.
And
Do you remember the sketch where he was the butler and he got on the doorknob trying to open the... And it was the day that he had a vasectomy to boot. So I'm really not sure how the hell he did that.
Oh, yeah.
Anything for the laugh.
I know,
Yep.
for sure.
And also that theme song, da 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 da. It's one I
Yes.
remember a lot with the animated Carol.
Yes,
As
it was
a
a great
maid.
song.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Well, thanks for letting me ask the question.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you so much. Hi.
Hi there.
Hi.
I just first of all want to say thank you so much for everything that you've done for everybody, not only in this room, but for the whole world.
Thank you.
You are a legend.
Amazing.
My question, though, is for the comedic side. I was wondering, I want to get into stand-up comedian, and so does a lot of people. Do you have any advice for people that are looking to get into comedy?
You know, what happened to me is so unusual, and it launched my career, so I never had to go through what most young people have to go through to get into the business. So I've kind of picked my agent's brain a little bit. I said, what do I tell people? And he said, perform as much as you can. You have to go to open mic nights. You have to get up there. You have to really hone a great 5 minutes and do as much of that as you can so that people see you. Because when you're beginning, he said, you're not going to get an agent. So your job is to be seen. Carol is actually developing a show right now for Apple TV, all about her beginnings in show business, where she went to New York with $2,000 that was given to her by an admirer. And she stayed at a little, it was like a girls' boarding house, kind of, where young actresses could live while they were trying to get into the business. And she said that they all got together at one point and put like a little variety show together.
Brilliant.
A bunch of skits, and they invited every agent in the city, and I guess a lot of them showed up, and that was the way they got seen. So I would say be creative.
Yeah. That speaks a lot to like the importance of community as well.
For sure.
Either way, thank you so much for everything you do, and thank you for being such a great role model.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
5 minutes
you.
of funny stuff.
Yeah. Will that pull down? Oh, you got it.
It'll rock
You're
down.
a pro.
So I really wasn't planning to come to FanX this year. I saw you were here, had to come.
Oh, thank you.
We had one channel when I lived in Africa.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Every Saturday night was the Carol Burnett Show. And so I grew up with, my best friend was Carol Burnett, and I used to call her Carol Burnett, which drove her crazy. But, you know, you make hard, fast friends when you're in the military brat zone. But
Wow, where were you?
Libya,
Wow.
Africa.
And you, how long were you there?
3.5 years before Muammar Gaddafi took over. That's another story.
Wow.
That's a long time when you're a kid, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but it was like I'd be out running around playing, and it's like the sun's going up. Gotta go watch the show because it's the one time you get to watch it. And the bass used to play repeats.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I invented VCR because I would turn off the TV because I'd run outside because my friend wanted to play, and I'd come back and you'd be on again still. My question is, did you like playing the younger sister or Carol's mom?
Oh, well, I got to play a lot of fun old ladies on her show, really, because, people ask me all the time, how did you play an old lady when you were so young? Because I was 24 years old the first time I played her. They actually wrote that character for Carol, and they were going to find a guest star to play Eunice. But Carol said, I don't want to be Mama. I would like to play Eunice. And she went to Bob Mackey. She said, don't you think we could make Vicki Mama? And he said, oh, hell yeah. Because we had done many old ladies by then, because if Carol was Shirley Temple, I was the mean old school teacher. And if she was Cinderella, I was the Wicked Witch. So I played a lot of old ladies. I forgot what your question is now.
What was your favorite? You played like an ingenue, or you played...
Mama is so fun. You get to hide behind her and say whatever the hell you want.
And I know the most famous is the curtains coming down the stairwell, but I always loved you as the Mammy character.
Oh, yeah, Prissy. I was Prissy. I loved Prissy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a great sketch.
Thank you for coming.
The Gone with the Wind sketch, and I saw somebody out here that's
there's
dressed
somebody in the
her,
curtain dress right here.
Yes, in the curtain rod.
Amazing.
I saw it. I saw that little hat, and then I saw the fringe, and I went, oh, yeah. So that's really famous because she went in for wardrobe fitting, and it said in the script that she comes down dressed in something made from the drapes. And Bob Mackey said, I have something to show you. And he had a mannequin in one of the dressing rooms, and he pulled the curtains back, and he had that outfit on the mannequin. Carol said, I peed in my pants. I dropped to the floor. She said, I looked at him, I said, this is going to be the funniest damn thing that has ever been on the show. That sketch was written by two young ushers that worked at NBC. We were at CBS. And they sent that sketch over to her husband, who was the executive producer, and said, we would give our right arm for you to look at this, and because we really want to be writers. And he, of course, said, this is brilliant. Will you come and be on our staff? Incredible. And it was Rick Hawkins, Liz Sage. They were very young. And Rick became the executive producer on Mama's Family because he's very Southern and really knew how to write those characters.
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Hi.
So my parents and I, one of our favorite songs ever is "The Lights Went Out in Georgia."
Yes.
And I've always wondered what was your inspiration for writing that song?
I didn't write it. My first husband did. We were married for 10 minutes. Seriously. Yeah, it was very embarrassing. But he wrote that song. His name is Bobby Russell. He wrote Little Green Apples. He wrote, I don't know, he wrote a couple of other good songs. But anyway, he wrote that and hated it. And he was doing all of his demos one night in the studio, and he got ready to pack up, and I said, wait, what about Georgia? And he said, I hate that song. And I said, that song is a smash. He said, well, if you like it so much, why don't you do the demo? And he left. And I did the demo with one little musician. We took it back out to Hollywood to his producer, who said, I think this is a good song. He tried to send it to everybody. He wanted to work with Liza Minnelli. He said, I'm going to send it to her. I said, Liza Minnelli is not right for this song.
That's so weird.
Because now I'm like convinced that this thing is a big hit. He ended up sending it over to Cher, and Sonny is the one that heard it, and he said, Cher won't do this. It's offensive. She will not do it unless it's completely rewritten. And Bobby said, I don't like it to begin with. I'm not going to rewrite it. So, and I love that Cher is going to turn this down. She who did Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, and what was the one about Half-Breed?
Yeah. Yeah, that is a weird.
But this is offensive. Anyway, he finally just threw up his hands, says, let's just go in the studio and do it with Vicki. He had a brand new record deal with Bell Records, which was a brand new label, and he said, this is going to be the first thing I send them. And I lobbied very long and hard for the guy that arranged it, because he had Feelin' All Right on the charts at the time, and I loved his arranging. And he was really responsible for giving that whole spooky minor sound to it. First time the orchestra played it, I said, what? He said, it's the same melody. Go ahead. It's just the chords are a little more minor. So I think it was really a good collaborative effort. I knew it was a hit. So when it became a hit and everybody wanted to talk to me about it, Bobby got a little bit jealous. Well, not a little bit. And we got a divorce. I got a gold record, I got the dog, and I got a divorce. So it actually worked out really well for me.
And you got rid of a jealous person in your life.
Yeah. And I outlived him.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Merida has entered the chat.
So I know that Carol Burnett once said that Jimmy Stewart was her dream guest. Did you have any dream guests that you could lobby for or anything?
You know, I wasn't allowed to really lobby for anybody, but they surprised her with Jimmy Stewart on the last show. And gosh, I loved more the musical guests when I was young. Like my song was Ode to Billy Joe. And I knew that song by heart. And when Bobby Gentry was on the show, I went nuts. You probably don't even remember Bobby Gentry. Where is Bobby Gentry?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But anyway, she was beautiful. She was very Southern. She played that little guitar. And she got booked on the show, and I was so excited. She was late the first rehearsal day. And finally, the producers said, we need to call down and see if what's going on. So they called down to the front gate, and they said to the guard, has Bobby Gentry come through yet at all? And the guard said, haven't seen him.
Whoops.
So the guard didn't even know who she was. But I loved her. I loved when the Jackson 5 was on.
Yeah, that was a
I kind of lived for the musical guests. But pretty incredible that I got to sing with Ella Fitzgerald and Pearl Bailey and Mama Cass and
incredible.
It's just incredible the people I got to meet. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for spending time here. I am a big fan of the nostalgia, but you've been a working actor till like last week probably. And you've worked with some amazing other female comedians, Roseanne, Mayim Bialik, Margaret Cho, like all of these famous comedians. Do you have any funny stories about any other like more recent female comedians? I would love to hear any funny stories about some of the other people that you worked with in the last, 30 years.
Phew, some of the fun people I've worked with. I feel like they've all been fun. Gosh, what good story do I... Well, I know. What I get to be in the second season of Palm Royale. Have you watched that yet?
Yeah, that's good.
It's silly. It's on Apple TV, you guys, and you would want to watch the first season so you understand...
Yeah, for sure. It's got some twists.
...what happens in the second season. And when I was invited to... the producer of that show called Carol and said, I have a really good part that I would love to offer to Vicki in season 2. Are you okay with that? And she said, am I okay? Yes, get on the phone. So it's really the first time I've gotten to work with her in years. And I was so excited because Palm Royale, if you haven't watched it, all the women are very glamorous. Lots of makeup and hair. And I was so excited. You will pee in your pants when you see what they did to me.
Can't wait. Thank you.
I think it's coming out in November, so.
Ooh, fun things to look forward to. Hi.
Hi, Vicki. It's wonderful to meet you. My name is Laura. You haven't talked about my favorite show, The Cool Kids. I loved that, and especially the scene when Leslie Jordan has to hit on you and try to get you to sleep with him. I loved that show. I didn't know if you had any stories about Leslie Jordan specifically.
Well, he kept us all laughing during the pandemic, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He was just sweet as he could. That whole cast was so sweet.
Yeah.
Well, David Allen Grower was kind of grumpy once in a while, but I loved him anyway. I miss those guys so much. But Leslie, all four of us, Martin Mull, David, me, and Leslie, on the breaks would sit around and tell each other crazy stories from the past. Like the time that the time that Rita Hayworth was on our show, and she's rehearsing with Carol, and she's trying to do a little bit of a dance number, and I was just standing against the wall watching them rehearse, and she came over to me after the number, and she grabbed me by the shoulder. She said, I don't know how you guys do this in 1 week. And I said, but Miss Hayworth, you ran up and down the stairs with Fred Astaire. She said, we had a long time to learn that. Or Sammy Davis Jr., when he was on the show, he said, I want everybody to come down to the stage after run-through. We had a run-through on Wednesdays. We taped on Fridays. We had a 3 p.m. run-through. And he said, after the run-through, I want everybody to come down to the stage. He had his entire orchestra there, and he did his whole show for us.
Amazing.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
So many stories. Everybody had so many stories. And, Leslie had a crazy life before he turned into Leslie Jordan. Like crazy. And he would tell those stories, and we would just go, oh, my God.
Yeah, he was a wild child.
Who were you in jail with?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a very wild child. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hi.
Hi, Vicki. It's very nice meeting you.
Thank you.
So I was going to ask you about Cool Kids as well. So I'm going to kind of pivot a little bit. The things that happened on the Carol Burnett Show are infamous at this point. But I'm wondering if there were, because you had all these great people around you with the Cool Kids, Leslie Jordan, Martin Mull, David Allen Greer when he wasn't being grumpy, I guess. But
he's adorable. I love him.
But I'm wondering if you had moments in filming where things just got out of control. I mean, I could see that with that kind of cast.
Well, no, usually when we were off camera or waiting or on a break, because Charlie Day was our executive producer, and Charlie wanted to hear his script. So we didn't mess around with the scripts. Most writers are that way. Most writers want to hear what they wrote.
Right.
So, but we just had fun when the cameras weren't rolling. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
But they are all great. I miss them so much. When I got that show, I was the first person cast, and they said, we're having trouble casting a couple of the guys. We've gotten a hold of really great actors, but they don't want to do it because we're going to do it in front of a live audience. And it's amazing how many actors say, I can't. But that's how I grew up. So, you know, you guys are friends. And it's so fun to get that, you know, immediate feedback. Yeah, so.
Very cool. Well,
And when it went, I said, I'm so sorry that it's on Fox. I just wish to God it was ABC, but it's on Fox. So Fox canceled us and put on wrestling.
Yeah, it didn't run near long enough.
Right.
Yeah.
But boy, you have been blessed with great ensembles.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea.
I don't do people. I do little kids, but I don't do like big crowds. It's kind of intimidating.
You're doing great.
So my parents introduced me to Carol Burnett Show on MeTV. I was depressed when they took it off for a short amount of time. But As the Stomach Turns is one of my favorite skits. Question, how many children did you end up having that Carol just kind of pushed away?
I've never counted. It was almost every time we did it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of kids. She threw them in the umbrella thing, right?
And one time in a drawer. She just
Oh, in a
pushed
drawer.
her. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Pepper. My question is, how is it working on the Murder, She Wrote episode, and did you secretly want to be the murderer?
Oh, well, no, I've been a murderer on a couple of occasions. Murder, She Wrote, I was just really cool to be around Angela Lansbury because she was a legend.
Yeah.
And she was very serious. She knew all her lines perfectly. She never screwed up. And 5 o'clock would come and she'd say, "Good night, everyone." That was it. We were done. She was very, strict with her schedule and strict with the scripts. And, yeah.
That's
Thank
a
you.
pro.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. I wanted to ask you a couple of additional things. One, it's been mentioned, that you are still acting all the time. You do a show where you sing, and you also do part of it as mama sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that drives you to keep performing? Because you could retire now if you wanted and hang out and live a quiet life, but you keep going in a way that's really beautiful and feels incredibly genuine. What is it that makes you keep wanting to do it over and over?
Because what would I do if I retired, Ollie?
I don't know, hug a dog? I don't know.
Well, I do that anyway.
She has a very cute dog. If you're not following her on Instagram, get on it. It's the most joyous Instagram.
Which one? We have two right now.
You have a little white one that is so cute, it hurts my
Hannah.
heart.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying which Instagram. I'm like, I don't know your private secret Instagram. But her Instagram is beautiful because you balance your work life with a very fulfilling, it seems, family life. You're close to your kids. You share your pets. You shared a beautiful video of a butterfly coming out of its cocoon.
Oh my God, wasn't that great?
It was, and I love it. If you want,
My son on video caught the cocoon, caught the whole thing.
beautiful. It's like
It's
social media
incredible.
dopamine hit is her Instagram feed. I'm not kidding. It's so good. Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to ask, so as kids growing up, I don't know if other 40-year-olds in this room have the same feeling, but I grew up watching you in syndication on the days that we stayed home from school. And Mom and Dad were just not around because we were all latchkey kids, right?
Uh-huh.
So I have a question for you. What do you like to watch on your days that you're home and you're just not feeling well or whatever? What do you binge watch?
Oh, I don't know that I watch any network television anymore. I'm so into the streaming.
Nobody does. It's okay.
I just stream stuff like mad. Favorites? Let's see. Are you all streaming?
Yeah.
As opposed to the networks?
Yeah.
I watch, Outlander. Oh, dear God. I am so in love with him.
It's hard.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
That's a hard one to not watch.
Yeah, that's a very hard one. Let's see, what else? Warrior. I kind of like, what's the one, gosh darn it, Ozark.
Oh,
Loved
yeah,
it.
Ozark's so good.
I love all the violent stuff.
And
That
I love
says
the Old
nothing
West.
about your personality, right?
I don't know if it's just the state of the country or but my it can't be too violent for me. I'm fine.
Nice.
It's got to be all the true crime shows too, right?
No, I don't like the true
No,
crime.
not the true crime.
No, I like the make believe.
I would think with the psychotic side. No, just kidding.
What else? Oh my God, there's so much good stuff.
There's a
streaming.
lot of good stuff. I feel like streaming has made it possible for a lot more people to be seen that would never have gotten onto network, which is
that's
amazing.
True. Yellowstone.
So good.
Have you all done Yellowstone? 1883.
Oh, so good.
1923. Oh my God, I do like the Old West.
Clearly.
Hell on Wheels. Very good.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey, not Carol Burnett, Vicki Lawrence. I'm serious, the biggest Mama's Family fan that there could ever be. We used to record it on the VHS, then we bought all the DVDs, and anyway, I love Mama's Family. I was just wondering, do you have an episode that is one of your favorites that you've done?
No, I want to know what your favorite is.
The Cobras.
There were so many of them.
Oh, there were so many. The Cobras, when Vince in the Cobras.
Oh,
and I love the one, where you're singing for Raytown, oh Raytown.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
that was awesome.
Dirty Dancing, I liked that.
Oh,
That
Dirty
was fun.
Dancing was amazing. We have them all memorized. Anyway.
Yeah.
I just was wondering, how old were you when you played in Mama's Family?
Mama's Family was more the 80s.
Yeah, I think it was the 80s.
So, I don't know. I was born in 49. You
'Cause
do the
you
math.
look
I
so-
can't figure it out.
You
In
look
your
so young
30s.
now.
Yeah, I guess I was in my
Anyway,
30s.
I
Mid-30s
just
when it started.
wanted to say thanks. That show has brought me tons of happiness, so thank you.
Thank you.
I think this has to be our last one. You're the grand finale.
Boy, this
no
better
pressure.
be good.
No pressure.
Well, it's kind of an odd one. And I was just curious if they cast you in Nunsense 2 with the idea that Mama Harper would make an appearance in that, or if that was just an after.
I think that was
addition.
an afterthought on their part. Danny Goggin is the guy that writes all those, and he has become a very good friend. And we had a ball doing it. And we did it at the Grand Ole Opry, which was super fun. Yeah, I think it was kind of a little afterthought. We thought, why don't we'll just bring her out and
Perfect.
put her in there for a moment.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And there's another good dog story.
Bring it on.
When I had my talk show, we had a dog trainer on.
That show was so good.
Well,
I wish it had lasted longer than 2
again,
years.
I
yeah.
worked for the wrong people,
Yeah.
but he
But
was
got
not
an Emmy
nice.
nom for it too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he wasn't very nice. The guy I worked
Yeah.
for, and I wanted to do what Carol did. I wanted to have fun. So, but anyway, we had this dog trainer on, and we had unusual breeds. We were showing you unusual breeds, and a PBGB came out. I don't know if you guys know what that is. A Petit Basset Griffon Vendée, and they're very cute. They're very scrappy looking. They're little French hunting dogs. And Brian was the dog trainer. He said, you should have one of these dogs because they're funny. And I put that in the back of my head because we had dogs at the time. But when I was ready for a new dog, he told me had a really good friend that was a breeder. So I called her and I said, I think I'm interested in a PBGB. She said, okay, well, I'm not just going to give you one. You have to come and meet them. I don't just give them or sell them to people. So I said, well, she was in New York. I said, I'm going to be in New York rehearsing Nunsense in January. She said, great, I'll have a new litter then. And she said, come on out and meet them and we'll talk about it. And so I'm rehearsing Nunsense. I said to Danny, I need to go out to the Putnam Valley tonight and meet the PBGBs. And he said, well, I'll loan you my car, but I can't go tonight. So I said, Leo, who's the piano player, I said, if you take me to Putnam Valley, I'll take you to dinner anywhere you want in New York. He said, anywhere? I said, well, given the way we're dressed, anywhere. So off we go, and when you get like 45 minutes out of New York City, you are in the country. And it was literally, if you go past the lumber yard, you've gone too far. Turn left at the church. It's a 2-track, and you go up in the woods.
Love it.
And there are PBGBs everywhere. and they are so adorable. And I said, I want Phoebe the PBGB. She said, yeah, you and everybody else, you're getting a guy. So, because they're the lovers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's another dog story.
Sweet.
We've had
Oh,
two
I
of them.
love
We
it.
rescued one.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Vicki, thank you for spending this time with us.
welcome.
How lucky are we? What a delight. And also, I could stare at you all day long. You're so pretty.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys also for being here and asking great questions. Hail to the Queen, as far as I'm concerned. Yes.